Earlier today at approximately 14:30 hours, the Albuquerque Police Department Auto Theft Unit was conducting a long-term investigation. This investigation was a reference to a stolen motor vehicle in which double-digit amount of firearms were also taken during the commission of this initial crime. Detectives had tracked the vehicle to the area of Lomas and San Mateo when they attempted a traffic stop. They had planned to take this vehicle into custody and ensured that air support was available to assist them. The vehicle fled officers initially from the original traffic stop, and officers pulled back and they gave the pursuit to air support. Air support for the next hour followed the vehicle, and one subject did flee from the vehicle at one point in time in the northeast, but it made its way back to the southwest. At this point in time, the subject exited the vehicle. A male then fled on foot from officers southbound through the parking lot here at 98th and Central. It then went to the back. The male then was confronted by officers. Less lethal was deployed. A 40 millimeter was used to try to stop this individual. There is a good time frame between the individual being hit with the 40 millimeter, not surrendering, and the actual shooting which occurs. Officers then confront the individual, give the individual several commands, as they could see that the individual was holding a firearm in his hands. The individual chose to keep the firearm in his hands. He chose to continue to flee from the officers. Air support video and OBRD from the officers seems to show that initially that the individual looks as he's blading towards the officers in attempt to what officers believed was possibly the individual attempting to shoot them. We do not know if the individual actually discharged the firearm at this time. We do know 4 officers fired their weapons, and the individual was taken to a local hospital where he is listed in critical condition. Firearm is recovered on scene. You could actually see it through the air support video immediately that the firearm falls to the ground. We will be out here through the rest of the evening as we conduct this investigation, and any other updates will be put out later through the PIO. Do we have any questions?
Where did this happen exactly?
This happened behind the Mezquite Market in an alley just to the east of us. There's an alley that runs north-south. The officers did approach the individual. Appears they had a good solid backstop with a cinder block wall with the individual, with the males who had the firearm back to it. And it was a Toyota pickup truck.
Can you elaborate on the double-digit firearms? Were those taken when the vehicle was taken?
Yes, the vehicle was stolen and the firearms were part of the initial theft. I've gotten
the vehicle?
I don't have the information if they were inside the vehicle or if they were in the location where the vehicle was stolen from.
How many occupants in the truck?
There was initially 2 occupants. One exited the vehicle at one point in time. Air support chose to continue to follow the vehicle with the driver, and the second subject was lost.
Can you give an age range for the person who was shot?
Over 30 years oldish. Any other questions? Everybody have? Go ahead.
Any suspect information for people to keep a lookout?
I don't have information on the first individual, but we'll get that out.
You're still looking for that person, just to...
They're still looking for that individual.
I'm sorry, where did that person get out?
That person got out somewhere in the Northeast Area Command, in the area of somewhere by Lomas and possibly San Mateo area, or Lomas in Louisiana.
Okay, and this was like an investigation. They were investigating these people for a while before today happened.
Yes, this was a long-term investigation. They had been investigating it, trying to track down the vehicle and locate the firearms that had been stolen.
Okay, was the investigation just centered around a certain stolen vehicle, or was it like about these people stealing multiple?
It was around this vehicle and the fact that it had so many firearms stolen at the same time.
Okay, so it sounds like maybe like a house burglary and a vehicle was stolen.
I believe it was a storage shed that was burglarized, and the vehicle was taken, and the firearms were either in the storage or in the vehicle.
Have the firearms been found?
We have not processed the vehicle yet, and I do not know if any of the firearms have been recovered. We know that there's possibly one firearm on scene. About 35 years old was the subject. All right, everybody have a good evening.